Hello, student. I hope all of you are fine. I'm Dr. Manju and you are studying biology with me. Today we are going to discuss about the Krebs cycle. Glycolysis and Krebs cycle both are used for the energy production in the living organism. So in the previous lecture we have discussed about the glycolysis. So what is the end product of glycolysis? It's a pyruvic acid. So by the metabolism of one molecule of carbohydrate, it produces 2 pyruvic acid. But pyruvic acid cannot enter in mitochondria because pyruvic acid is impermeable to inner membrane of mitochondria. So pyruvic acid is converted into the acetyl coenzyme A. This acetyl coenzyme A enter into the mitochondria where Krebs cycle is happen. So here we are going to discuss about the Krebs cycle. How many ATP are produced through the Krebs cycle? So the basic aim or basic goal to study the Krebs cycle and glycolysis is to produce ATP because all of you know ATP is used by our cell for performing different chemical reactions that is take place in our body. So the ATP production, we can see the from the pyruvic acid is converted into the acetyl coenzyme A. If we are using the another source that is a fat for the ATP production, so by the beta oxidation of fat, it converted into acetyl coenzyme A. And if you are using protein as an energy source, so protein is converted into amino acid. Now the simple form of amino acid is a glycine, so it converted again into acetyl coenzyme A. So you are taking any molecules for the energy source, they are converted into acetyl coenzyme A. So as I told you in earlier lecture, Krebs cycle is a aerobic process, means energy is required for the Krebs cycle. So how the energy is produced in the Krebs cycle, we are going to study here. So it's a acetyl coenzyme A. Acetyl coenzyme A is a 2 carbon molecule. It's a 2 carbon molecule, and acetyl coenzyme A combined with the oxaloacetic acid, and it produce citric acid by using enzyme citrate synthase. So next, citric acid is converted into cis-aconitic acid by using enzyme aconitase. Now, cis-aconitic acid is converted into isocitric acid by using enzyme aconitase. And here, water molecule is used, and in this step, water molecule is removed. So it's a 6 carbon compound. And the next, isocitric acid, it's also a 6 carbon compound, and isocitric acid is converted into oxalosuccinic acid. In this step, it's an important step because here NAD2H is produced. Clear? Means NADH2 is produced. So NADH2 is a energy molecule. So for that, the enzyme is used a dehydrogenase enzyme. So it's a concept you can remember here. Uh, where is NADH2 is produced, the enzyme is used is a dehydrogenase. So magnesium ion is also required here. Now oxalosuccinic acid is converted into alpha ketoglutaric acid by removing one CO2 molecule. The process removal of CO2 is called the decarboxylase process. Yeah, so alpha ketoglutaric acid is converted into succinyl coenzyme A. Here, one CO2 molecule is removed and one NAD2H is produced. It's an energy molecule. You can learn the enzyme such as it's alpha ketoglutaric acid. So it's a alpha ketoglutaric acid, glutaric dehydrogenase, means alpha ketoglutaric dehydrogenase is an enzyme that is used in this step by the formation of alpha ketoglutaric acid into succinyl coenzyme A. So this is converted into the succinic acid by using enzyme succinic thiokinase, and here GTP is produced. What energy molecule is produced? It's a GTP. Guanosine tri. It's a what is the full form of GTP? It's a guanosine triphosphate. So succinic acid is converted into the fumaric acid by using enzyme succinic dehydrogenase, and here one FADH2 is produced, and again fumaric acid is converted into malic acid. Now malic acid is converted into oxaloacetic acid by using the enzyme malic dehydrogenase, and here one NAD plus is converted into NADH2. So you can see here oxaloacetic acid is convertible with aspartic acid is also. So this oxaloacetic acid is produced in this cycle is it's a 4 carbon compound, and it combined with the acetyl coenzyme A, it's a 2 carbon compound, and again converted into a citric acid. So it's a cycle form. That's why we called it a Krebs cycle. Krebs cycle take place inside the mitochondria, and now what is the main purpose of performing Krebs cycle? It's the energy production. Yeah. So in the next step, we are going to count how many number of ATP are produced through the Krebs cycle. So you can see here, one GTP is equal to one ATP molecule, and one FADH2 is equal to 2 ATP, and one NADPH2 gives 3 ATP. In the previous lecture, I am also told you that GTP and FADH2 and NADH2 is directly cannot gives energy or cannot gives the ATP. So these molecules enter inside the electron transport system that it gives the ATP, because ATP only because our cells only use ATP molecules. It cannot use FADH2, NADH2 or GTP. Yeah, it use only ATP. That's why and FADH2 and NADH2 is enter into the electron transport chain. So now we can count how many amount of ATP is produced in Krebs cycle. You can see here, in when pyruvic acid is converted into acetyl coenzyme A, it produces one NADH2. So you can see this arrow. Yeah, you can see this arrow, and it produces 3 ATP. In next step, isocitric acid when converted into oxalosuccinic acid produce 1 NADH2, means 3 ATP comes here, and 3 ATPs comes here, and GTP gives 1 ATP, so 1 ATPs comes here, and FADH2 gives 2 ATP, so 2 ATPs comes here, so it's a ATP. And next is the malic acid when converted into oxaloacetic acid, so it also gives the 3 ATP. So how many ATPs produced in this cycle? It's a 15 ATP. When one pyruvic acid molecule is enter and then produce how many ATP? 15 ATP. But it's a concept that one glucose molecule glucose molecules, if metabolized through the glycolysis, it produces 2 pyruvic acid. So here we can study for the one molecules. So the next Krebs cycle is run also for the another pyruvic acid molecule, means the Krebs cycle is happen 2 times for one carbohydrate molecules, because 2 pyruvic acid is produced through the one carbohydrate molecule. That's why we can count ATP here. One glucose molecule produces 15 ATP. So here we having 2 pyruvic acid, so it produces 30 ATP. Clear? But 8 ATP in the previous lecture I told you, 8 ATP comes from the Krebs cycle. So total 38 ATP is produced through the respiration of one glucose molecule. Yeah, or you can say the metabolism of one glucose molecule produce how many amount of energy? It's a 38 ATP. But I told you NADPH2 and FADH2 is directly cannot give ATP, so it enter into Krebs cycle. So during the Krebs cycle, it enter into ETS, electron transport cell. It enter into ETS. It enter into ETS. So in ETS, they utilize 2 ATP. So net gain of ATP through the one molecule of carbohydrate or glucose is a 36 ATP. This question is used many times in your NET exam. How many ATP is produced by the metabolism of one glucose molecules? So it's a 36 ATP. Why not 38? Because 2 ATP are used in the ETS. So we can study in the okay, how the where is the 2 ATP is used. It's used in different shuttles are involved that utilize 2 ATP. You can study about what is the shuttle that is used uh, during this process. So I hope all of you are understand about the Krebs cycle. We can take the quick revision of the Krebs cycle again. Carbohydrate molecules or glucose molecules through the glycolysis, it's also converted into the pyruvic acid, and one glucose molecule produce two pyruvic acid molecule, and so the two time Krebs cycle is run. And if we are taking the whatever energy source fat by the beta oxidation converted into acetyl coenzyme A, protein is also converted into acetyl coenzyme A. Now acetyl coenzyme A combined with the it's a two carbon compound combined with four carbon compound, so converted into a six carbon compound. It's a citric acid. So so many questions are asked from the Krebs cycle. Means the which enzyme is used in which step you can learn, and how many is the reversible step here. Clear? And in which step ATP is produced, in which step NADPH2 is produced, and in which step GTP is produced, and in which step the FADH2 is produced, and which enzyme is used for the production of FADH2, and which enzyme is used for production of NADH2. And these type of questions are arise in your competitive exam, and as well as your examiner during the viva, and it's a very important. So you can learn and you can draw the cycle one or two times so you can understand easily. So I hope all of you are understand. If you having any doubt, then tell me. Thank you so much. Be stay and be safe.